Crows Club presents B-Side Breakdown.
Hey everyone, welcome to the B-Side Breakdown. My name is Brett Johnson and I am your host. This is episode 21 of a podcast where I talk with other artists, musicians, and songwriters about a song they've written that's meaningful to them, that they want to talk about, and ideally we have a chat and get deep into the why behind it. Today I'm going to be talking with Rich Horton from the band Tragic Hands about their song Dynamite. So let's get into it. Here is Dynamite by Tragic Hands. All right, and that was Dynamite by Tragic Hands. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back with Rich Horton. Stay with us. All right, and we're back. Let's bring in Rich Horton to talk about the song Tragic Hands. Hey, Rich, thanks for taking some time to talk with me today about the song.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. So I'm super interested in hearing all about this because, I mean, all right, so I'm going to divulge a little bit. I've known you and been familiar with you longer than we've known each other, because I believe you in the 90s were in a band called Marcus Noise, correct?
Yes, that is correct. Yep.
Right. And Marcus Noise, who you sat next to in class and named your band after, is a dude that I've been in bands with for a million years.
Yep.
And that's how we got to know each other way back when. But then I also know you had your various bands that you were in, but then you did Rift Magazine in the Twin Cities area, and you've done just so much cool stuff to support the Twin Cities and that area's music scene that, well, first of all, just formally, I want to say hats off to you for all the work that you did. It's just so awesome that there's supporters of local music and pushers of local music like yourself out there doing what you do. So thank you for doing all of that throughout, as long as I've known of you and known you. But I also wanted to get into, tell me about Tragic Hands. Tell me about Dynamite. Why did you want to talk about this song today?
I don't know. It seemed like when towards the end of the band broke up back in, I think it was March or so, or no, it was in February. And the song had kind of gotten some traction, like we playing it live and stuff like that. And this is the first band I played bass in So, and the bass line that I came up with, I thought was pretty cool and people seemed to like it. So I just, cause it's more present than other stuff. And then, just kind of how the song became kind of ironic after the fact is kind of what I want to talk about a little bit too. So
Sure, sure, sure. So tell me about that then. Okay, so you were the bass player in the band. When did the band form?
we formed right kind of just as the pandemic was kind of winding down and
Oh,
people could start getting back together again. So
okay.
we still did like 6 months in the practice space with, masks in the hallways and stuff like that. But I had started, I kind of decided to get a practice space during the pandemic to do some recording in. And so I moved my equipment into there and stuff and, did some demos and stuff like that. And then had a drummer come in to play with. And then it eventually morphed into a band and started taking my songs and ended up playing bass because I found a guitar player that I really liked and just
Sure.
kind of fit together and just started taking the songs that I demoed and making them into songs. And I think within a year we recorded our first album. We recorded that one, and then this was a year later. We recorded this Dynamite again, and we did both of them at the Terrarium in Minneapolis here.
Nice. Who engineered it?
Jason Norris did.
Cool, cool, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So who uh got it. So was it all kind of based around, was all Tragic Hands music based around kind of songs that you brought to it, or did the other folks bring in tracks that they had also been working on and was kind of more collaborative in that way, or were you, it was kind of more sort of your vision and they were filling that out?
Yeah, it ended up being they added one song to the last one that the guitar player wrote, but otherwise, we tried to jam once in a while and try to get ideas, but basically I would take the ideas from the jams and then I would kind of work a song around it, bring it home
Sure.
and make it into a demo and write lyrics for it. And
Oh, okay.
then kind of send it out to them. And then we'd get together and then it would slowly take, more shape as we went, a solo would be added or we'd
Right.
change up a verse or something just to make it work better and stuff. So, and then backup vocals and stuff like that. So,
Got it.
yeah,
Got it. And how many piece band was it?
it was 3-piece band. Yep.
It was a 3-piece. Okay,
Drums,
cool. Got it.
guitar, and bass and
Cool.
vocals. So,
Yeah. So then what happened?
well, it's just one of those things where, you know, um, something happened that I didn't know about and it became all weird after that fact. So
Oh, okay.
I just
Got it.
decided to, kind of put it to bed at that moment. So, and, kind of like anything, you get a couple people and things change or whatever, but it's kind of
Yeah.
happened. You've probably been through enough of those
Yeah,
to,
I'm familiar with that. Yeah, sure.
so, but I think like overall, like I think we really were hitting our stride doing that album we did. So it was called Logic Saves, and that had Dynamite on it, and kind of everything was just kind of fitting together. So that was kind of cool. So
Yeah, got it. And so then just kind of echo back to your point earlier that there's a sense of irony that you wanted to talk about this song now, even though this band is broken up, and
oh
specifically Dynamite. So help me make that connection.
oh yeah, so because the chorus part kind of goes, if it like now I can remember, I should have remembered what the lyrics were, but when things you leave, you kind of run away from things that get bad
Yeah.
or blow it up, kind of thing. And it's kind of two different ways to do it. And so I kind of blew it up a little bit and
Got it.
then ran
Okay,
away
that's
from it. So kind of, blew it up with dynamite and then went with
and said, "See ya." Yeah, no, I get it. I
yeah.
understand. No, I've been in that too, and I've been on the recipient of that end before, and I've been the lighter of the dynamite before as well. So I'm familiar with kind of that all the way around. Got it. So is that again? What's the name of the record that the song comes from?
That's all. Logic Saves was the name of that.
Logic Saves, and is that out on Bandcamp? Can people go there to get it?
Yeah, they can get it on Bandcamp and it's out on all the streaming services as well. So
Cool. So tragichansbandcamp.com, is that right?
yep.
Awesome. Awesome. And then is there a specific social for Tragic Hands as well? Is it just at Tragic Hands at Instagram, or should they follow you specifically?
They could go to my my SoundCloud is fine for I'm just doing new demos to, just try out new songs and stuff. And then there's some older songs on there too as well. But the Tragic Hand stuff kind of disappeared. So it was kind of a mix of both of us handling it all. So it kind of left this earth.
Yeah,
All
no, I
this-
get it. Yep, I understand.
But the
And I like your
Bandcamp,
SoundCloud handle of Rifty Rich. That's
yeah,
pretty slick. Good. Good on
the
you.
Bandcamp thing is still there, and like on the streaming thing. So
Okay.
yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. So then what else have you been doing since then with that body of work? Have you repurposed any of it for other things? Or, I mean, I get it when I know, like personally, in bands I've been in the past, there's songs that I've had in one band that the song never really saw the light of day, even though we may have recorded it even, and it might have been released, but it just sort of, nothing ever happened with it. And those songs have been repurposed. There's, and this is kind of perfect that you and I are talking about this, because one of the songs is a song I wrote with Marcus Noise, called Penny. And that song has been, I've redone it like 6 times over the past 30 years. And it's just because it's like, I never quite got it the way I wanted it. It's just one of those things that I felt like this treatment would be better or different. But I'm just curious, are you doing anything with the kind of the back catalog of Tragic Hands, like the work that you did, or are you're just making new demos and just moving
Yeah,
forward?
I'm making new songs, but there's one song off the first album that I am I might do acoustically, but I haven't decided yet, kind of thing. I originally wrote it acoustic and then brought it to the band, and then we turned it into some, kind of a more of a ballady type song. So there's possibility I could do that because I would kind of like the acoustic version of it a lot. But
Sure.
otherwise, I just went on and started writing new songs and stuff like that. So and
Got it.
hopefully we'll get into the studio in the next month or two to record the tracks just on my own. I've never really done it by myself, so I kind of wanted to try something like that. So,
And say that part again.
oh,
You've never really done what? Like
like just
done the whole
done the whole
recording by
thing.
yourself?
Yeah, doing the whole thing by myself. And I have some songs that I just use drum tracks for, and then have a couple of songs that are just acoustic and some other instrumentation that I'm trying out. And with Jason at the Terrarium, I played him some of the stuff that I had, and he said I could bring in recordings I had, and we can go in there and add and mix, and that way, and save a little money and work it out that way. So it seems like the home recording stuff is a lot easier to get a better sound on now than it used to be as well. So I'm not recording any real drums, so that seems to help out a bit.
Got it. And when you recorded the Tragic Hands tracks, those are actual drums, not programmed drums
Yes,
in the studio at the
those are actual
Terrarium.
drums. Yeah,
Okay, got it.
we basically recorded everything live in the studio. And
Okay.
I know I'd heard that I had listened to one of your other podcasts where from Houston, where they were recording, like recording stuff at home and then sending it to each other.
Yeah.
So I'm not a good enough musician to do that. I don't think so. Especially if it was drums, but but otherwise, like we basically recorded the basic tracks live and then did the overdubs and then went from there. So
Oh, that's
yeah.
cool. Got it. Got it. Yeah, the file share recording thing can be challenging for sure. It's kind of an exhaustive process. I was in before I moved to South Carolina from Minneapolis, I was in a band called Three Crows and a Cardinal that kind of came together with me and Kerry Bozel from Red Over Lunar and Adam Coulong from the Wild Colonial Boys and Jason Phillips on bass. And we, right when the pandemic happened, we stopped getting together in the practice space just because we were all, had our concerns with not wanting to get COVID, and everybody had some sort of family member situation where it'd be really, really bad if somebody got COVID and brought it home, right? So it was one of those where we sort of stopped getting together, and then I ended up moving away, but we continued to work on an EP, and just recording it over file sharing. But man, it was time consuming, and it's challenging to get like here's a scratch guitar. Okay, now you might have to line it up to a click, because even though I played it to a click, I might have played it, crappy. So now you have to kind of reline it up, and then try to write drums to that, and then
Yep.
okay, and then we'll send it back and forth a million times and see what happens. But it was ultimately turned out okay. But I hear what you're saying. I mean, if you have the opportunity to go in the studio and do it all yourself, that's really cool. I know I had also talked previously about it might have been even on that Houston episode where when I lived in California for a bit, I had a practice space where I was trying to record and demo like, 3 songs where I'm playing all the instruments analog, right? And it was a massive undertaking. It was really hard, and I'm nowhere near the drummer I need to be to do it. So it's just one of those, yeah, we'll try that different. So I echo what you're saying now about how home recording has gotten so much better and so much easier just to at least get really good ideas down and out. Like
Exactly. Yeah.
that's able to be done. And if I need to get some drummer to come in and play on it, please, like I'll go find you and hire you to do it if I have to. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
to have that analog sound. But even still, like a lot of programmed drums sound great.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. A lot of new stuff sounds a lot better. And even when I played it for Jason at the Terrarium, that he goes, this sounds too good. He was kind of almost mad that it was sounded good.
no,
So
I hear you.
it's kind of one of those things. But and I'm not a click track player at all. So
Sure.
I'm not that disciplined to do that. So
Got it.
yeah.
Got it. Cool. Well, is there anything else about specifically the song Dynamite you want to talk about or add to?
No, I was just excited to come up with a cool bass line. And
Yeah.
since I do the vocals, I tend to have to kind of make the lines where I'm singing kind of simple so I don't screw it up. And it's
Sure.
kind of nice to have a break and have a nice cool part, and then go back into the boring parts. But it was yeah, it was a fun song to make, and we had fun. It was really fun to play live, and it seemed like it had a lot of attention. People seemed to like it a lot, so it was cool.
Yeah, no, that is. It's a really interesting, I mean, for me, it was just a really interesting track to listen to. There's kind of like this angular thing going on in it where it's jarring, and it kind of reminds me of like, there's all these sort of things that, it nods to, and it doesn't specifically sound like anything to me at the same time, which I really liked. I mean, I like that. Yeah, man, this is like this, original effort, and I really dig it from that end. And it's cool that, yeah, I can hear probably maybe some influences in it, but, nothing specific where I can say, oh, this sounds like, because it just doesn't, which I thought was really, really great. And I love the tones in it, and the octave doubling of vocals was really cool. Yeah, I mean, there's so much going on in there that I thought was really cool. So great job on it. I thought it was great.
Yeah, it's kind of a thing too where you kind of realize, like, I was listening to I think it was that Rick Rubin podcast or whatever, and I can't remember the name of it, but they were talking about songs and about how many songs go to Spotify every day or something like that, the millions of songs that go to Spotify, and realize that your chances of people actually hearing your music gets slimmer and slimmer as you go along. So you have to kind of make something that really, really gets attention, kind of thing. But it's
Yeah.
really difficult to pull off these days, it seems like.
Yeah, no, that's a whole separate, right. I'm with you. And, part of me wishes that I would have got, an iPhone with social media applications when I was 13, just a little bit. I mean, just from I would have
Yeah.
adopted the technology so much quicker and
Yeah.
learned how to do all of this successfully way earlier and when I was younger, rather than now it's just more of a pain in the ass and I don't want to deal with it. It's just like, this sucks. I don't want to do it. But at the same time, it's like, no, I get it. And I'm becoming more and more, I mean, I don't know. I feel better about it. Like I get it. No, it's a cool way to communicate information to other people, of course. But at the same time, it's just being dependent on it going correctly. And so the algorithms pick it up right and do the right thing. Just even to your point of, yeah, millions of new songs every day on Spotify, you're never going to get heard. Like no one's just going to randomly find you, And it's
Exactly.
just like, yeah. So unless you're driving them to that, that's really challenging. But all right, so let's do this. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with more with Rich Horton. Please stay with us. All right, and we're back with Rich Horton. He put forth the song Dynamite from his band Tragic Hands that is now defunct. But let's find out more about what Rich is working on now. So, Rich, you said earlier in our last segment, you're talking about you're recording stuff on acoustic, or you're writing stuff on acoustic, and you're going into the studio to work out some of those things and get that done. Are you doing solo performances as well, or what else are you working on? Is there any other kind of creative avenues you're going with this?
Well, I think I'm just gonna like just put out songs as I go, and then, yeah, I haven't decided on playing live or not. But I did tell somebody I would play at a friend of mine has a party every year that in his basement that I would play a couple songs. So I might do that in June. So I got plenty of time to practice for it. But otherwise, I've also me and my family own a coffee shop in Northeast Minneapolis. And last year around May, we opened a restaurant bar as well. So I've been kind of busy with that as well. So the music thing is a kind of, less of a percentage of the time than it used to be. So I've been working on the restaurant. I have a day job as well. So it's kind of our new project that we're working on is the restaurant, and it's a little easier to get people to go to a restaurant you open than get to come to see your band. But it's
That's so
it's
true.
it's
Wow,
it's still hard.
that's I mean, I'm saying that's true. Like, I know what I'm talking about because I've never opened a restaurant, but I just can only imagine that. Right? It's impossible to get people to come see you perform.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Well, good for you on all of that, man. So what's the name of your coffee shop? I had no idea you owned one.
We own the coffee shop. It's called the Coffee Shop Northeast. It's in Northeast Minneapolis. It's on 28th and Johnson Street.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we just opened a place called Relish, which is a kind of a coffee breakfast, and we have brunch on the weekends. Like right now, it should be pretty busy there with brunch, and then has a full bar and lunch and dinner and that kind of stuff. So
Wow, man.
that's the new project. So, and it's a little harder than just running a simple coffee shop. It seems to be so far anyway.
Oh, I can only imagine. Yeah, my brain is just from my old days in the serving industry. I'm thinking of, wow, like, how did you get a liquor license? Like, there's all these things that I'm just thinking about, like, man, I can't even imagine the logistics behind all that and trying to put all that together. Good for you. And you have a day job. That's
Exactly.
Yeah, you're a busy dude. So family, coffee shop, restaurant, day job, and I'm this prolific songwriter who keeps putting out new music. Like, good for you, man. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, great. So one performance coming up potentially in June, but otherwise it's just going to be, you're releasing songs as you get them done, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly. So
it's not like you're waiting for some record compiled and then putting that out as a formal album. It's just the individual tracks.
I don't think so. The place I work for my day job is called the ADS Group, and it's part of Copycats Media.
Oh, sure. Okay.
And I do work in the graphics department, setting up files for CDs and DVDs and now vinyl, because they did put some vinyl presses in there. I'd like to put together a collection of songs to put on vinyl, but I've just it's kind of spendy still,
Vinyl isn't cheap.
Yeah, it's not cheap, but maybe down the line, if I get enough collection of good enough songs, I'll do that and stuff. So,
well, that's awesome, man. Well, look forward to keeping up with all your new songs as they come out at your SoundCloud address, and keep track of you on Instagram as well as wherever else I can get a hold of it. But thanks again for taking the time to talk with me today about Dynamite and telling me what you're up to. It's really, really good to hear that you're active in doing so well and doing all the things that you're doing in so many kind of different ways. I mean, it's just really inspiring to hear. So good for you, man.
Oh, thanks.
Three Crows Club presents B-Side Breakdown.
All right, and that wraps another episode of the B-Side Breakdown. I want to thank Rich Horton for coming along to talk about his song Dynamite from the band Tragic Hands. I also want to thank Adam Coulong and Carrie Bozel for helping me put together the jingle you hear at the beginning and the end of this episode. In the background, you're listening to the Blue Towel Lounge, a track by the A&B team from the legendary skate video Search for Animal Chin. Thank you, Paul Peralta, for giving me permission to play this on this episode. Up next, I have a chat with Annie and the Bang Bang about their song Wind Phone. I'm going to give you a sample of that song in a minute. Please subscribe to this podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.